So these were the two cars we used in lab. This is the 1999 Acura TL, and the other one is a 2007 Toyota Corolla. And so we were using both of these for our testing. Okay, after doing all our readings with the temperature gun to see pre and post cat temperatures, here are our readings. So the first readings, they're all in degrees of Fahrenheit, but our first readings are the ones with the car just completely like off and just sitting in the lab overnight. And then our idle readings for like 10 minutes as the car heats up. And like you can see as it slowly starts to increase, like it seems that the pre-temperatures are higher than the post, but that's just at idle. And then when we rev the car up to 2,500 RPMs, there you can see that the post temperature is a lot higher than the pre-temperature. And then the fluid temperature results, we would scan every foot from the exhaust manifold all the way to the exhaust hose. So we went from 320 degrees Fahrenheit to 400 at like the 7th foot, and that is where we hit the end of the car. So there are readings. There we go. And here is where we were measuring for our pre-cat measurements. Let me zoom in really quick. Right there. And then for our post readings, so there's the cat, and then our post readings were like right behind the cat. Don't know if you can see that well. It's like about, there's the cat. So we were kind of more towards the exhaust pipe, like right there. So currently we are waiting for this car to heat up. The car is on. And here are our PID values. We are in the 1999 Acura TL. And right now we have our ECT sensor voltage and temperature. Then we have our upstream oxygen sensors voltage and the downstream one. Then we have our AAT sensors, the voltage and temperature. And we're just going to scroll down really quick. Then we have, we have our long-term field trim, our map sensor voltage, and our short-term field trim. And we are going to look at it in the thing really quick. This is what they're going to look like as graphs. So here's like our short-term, our long-term, our map sensor, our AAT sensor. And we're going to scroll up. You scroll all the way to the top. Oh, sorry. Those are ECTs. Our first, the upstream ones. Then here are downstream ones. And there's our IAT again. And yeah, again, just waiting for the car to heat up. And we'll go from there. Alright, now that the car is up to operating temperature, we found that under high load, the two oxygen sensors, the upstream and the downstream, their voltage tends to spike and dip. See? As you can see, it's a lot of dips right now. Just gonna wait a little bit for it to kind of show up on the graph. As you can see right there, this top one. This top one is bank 1. This bottom one is bank 2. And yeah. We've done an unmetered vacuum leak. You can see the voltage dipping as the car gets way too much air and not enough fuel. See, our voltages are spiking a lot between 90 and 0 and 10 to 65.
So here we're on a 2007 Toyota Corolla. We have our short-term fuel trim, our long-term fuel trim, then our air-fuel ratio sensor, and our O2 sensor. The air-fuel ratio is the upstream one, and then the O2 sensor is downstream. And we're going to give it a little bit of gas and see how everything changes. So you can see air-fuel ratio sensor voltage went up, whereas the O2 sensor voltage went down. And then the short-term fuel trim went up, long-term went down. Okay, here we're gonna create an air leak, an unmetered air leak after the MAP sensor, and we're gonna see how it affects the fuel trims. Okay, pull it off. Okay, we can see everything changing now. The short-term fuel trim is going up a lot. Oh yeah, it went up a lot. Now it's kind of stabling out a little bit. So we can see our O2 sensor is also fluctuating a lot, going up and down, up and down. Long-term fuel trim still hasn't changed. We should see a change in that after a couple seconds. Should show something. Okay, now we're gonna plug the leak back up and we're gonna watch it get a lot more stable. It has stabled out somewhat here, but it's still dipping up and down, up and down. But now we've plugged it back up. Oh yeah, you can see it go down, start to get a lot more stable, a lot lower reading. Okay, now we can see they've fully stabilized and everything. So now we have an unmetered air leak. We can see our data here, and we're gonna give it some gas again. Now let it even out again with the air leak. So now we have our propane hooked up into the air intake, and we're gonna make a rich condition and see what happens. All right, we're starting to open it.
Alright, I think that's as much as I'm willing to open it. As I can smell the propane. I don't think I can open it anymore, but maybe I can. Making a few things mad.
Okay, so now we're gonna add propane to the air, and we're gonna see what happens. It should cut the fuel trim and not add as much fuel because there's gonna be some in the air. So we'll see what happens now. Okay, we're adding the fuel, and we can see, yeah, it starts to drop, and then looks like we added so much that it actually died out. It didn't have enough air to go with it. And now we can see after we stopped adding the propane, everything kind of took a dip there. And then it worked its way back up.